Well, shit, I guess this is like the most memorable 24 hours that the NBA has had trade-wise in a long time. But this one isn't as surprising, but still pretty crazy. De'Aaron Fox is now a San Antonio Spur. Zach Lavine is now a Sacramento King after years of trying to get on this team, signing that offer sheet way back, what was it, like in 2017 or something like that? I'm trying to remember. But Zach Lavine, long time connected to the Kings, finally a King. And then the Bulls get stuffed, basically. So let me say the full trade. The Spurs got De'Aaron Fox, Jordan McLaughlin, and the Kings got Zach Lavine, CD Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, which is the 2025 Charlotte Hornets pick, the 2027 San Antonio Spurs pick. This isn't even a real number, holy shit, but the 2031 Minnesota first-round pick, 3 second-round picks, and the Bulls get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 pick back from the San Antonio Spurs. And my first reaction is, the Spurs got to keep Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle too? Like, what? The Spurs got to have their cake and eat it too. I thought Stephon Castle, or at least Devin Vassell, would be a Sacramento King, but I guess Zach Lavine was the larger prize. This is kind of fitting, the Kings' mantra right now of just, I think the Kings should personally rebuild, but this is a move that will keep the Kings competitive, try to get a play-in spot, because this is going to be an all-offensive team, with the combination of Monk, Lavine, DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. I mean, you have CD Sissoko, who I actually like, but he really hasn't gotten that much playing time and is just looking like one of those second-round picks that might not see an NBA court often. But as you guys know, I'm always a sucker for 6'7" wings that are long and athletic, and I think that at least that's a good flyer. And the Kings did get a lot of draft picks in this deal, but I just feel like this is a move that they'll be fun offensively to watch, but defensively it's going to be a lot of the same problems, and it's just going to leave Kings fans frustrated. But at least they'll be fun to watch. For the Spurs, I mean, I still can't believe they didn't give up any of their young assets, like their prized assets. I just thought one of them would at least be a King. And then the Bulls, I guess good on them for getting their own pick back. I guess whatever package you could get, you had to get for Zach Lavine at this point. At least this is a trade that signals the Bulls are at least moving more towards of just completely rebuilding, which they should have done a while ago. I imagine Vooch will be, gone soon as well. The trade deadline is upcoming this Thursday. But Victor Wembanyama has his co-star. As you guys know, I'm a big believer in De'Aaron Fox. My opinions really hasn't changed with, all the rumors swirling around him and stuff like that. I think De'Aaron Fox is a great number 2 to have next to Wemby, a point guard. I always say on this channel, you want to pair a historic big man with a dynamic guard. That's what the Nuggets did with Jokic. That's what Giannis did with Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and now Damian Lillard. It took the Sixers for fucking ever, but they got Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, but that might be too late. And now you got Victor Wembanyama, an awesome, dynamic point guard that is just now entering his prime. I believe Fox is going to be 27 or is 27. But this is just an awesome move for the Spurs because they don't have to give up their young talent too. Keldon Johnson wasn't in this trade either. And I imagine, actually, I think Keldon Johnson might be another guy the Spurs might be looking to offload. But Jeremy Sohan, Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, the Spurs got to keep a lot of their young core, the main important pieces of their core moving forward. Wemby is obviously, you do whatever you can to build around Wemby, but the fact that the Spurs got to keep a lot of their young, exciting prospects, you gave up Trey Jones, really. Zach Collins, I mean, he wasn't really somebody you were looking to just bring with into the future, right? I mean, I just can't believe they did well like this. They got their cake and they're eating it too, and they're getting seconds. I personally, with apologies to my Sacramento Kings friends, selfishly, I did wonder what it would be like if Fox was traded to Houston or San Antonio, and San Antonio, obviously, because of the pairing with Wemby. But I just think this is going to be awesome. I'm going to enjoy watching these two play together. You got arguably the fastest man in the NBA, and you got arguably the most unique, physically gifted alien in the NBA that bends the rules of the basketball court, and you got Sonic the Hedgehog running across all over the court that is warped because Victor Wembanyama is demanding that attention too. It's going to be fun to watch Fox play off of that. But yeah, I guess I'm not really this surprised. I mean, compared to the Luka trade, obviously, last night, like, I guess at the end of the day, I just don't have a strong reaction to this trade because everybody knew this trade was coming and Fox was going to be a San Antonio Spur one way or another, whether that was in 2026 or trading him before this Thursday's deadline. So I can't really say, like, I mean, if you just follow Sacramento local media, you just knew this trade was coming, so it's not really a shock. It is interesting that the Bulls got in on it and got their own first-round pick back, considering that they're now officially waving the flag for tanking. And I did not expect Zach Lavine to finally don the purple jersey. But this was a trade I think a lot of people saw coming, and so it's not that really of a surprise. It is crazy the amount of star power and talent that has moved in just the last 24 hours or just under 24 hours. But this Spurs team, man, it's going to be really, really interesting now, especially in the bottom part of that Western Conference standings bracket. I really love this move. If anything, I mean, no matter the result this year, the Spurs have a little foundation now set around Wemby for the next 2 to 3 to 4 years. And on top of that, you really didn't have to give up your best assets. Like, you got to keep your Hawks picks. You give up maybe the Charlotte pick this year is going to be pretty valuable, especially with how they've been injured, but you didn't give up your blue chip guys like Vassell and Castle. You keep Sohan. You even keep Keldon Johnson. You keep all the good picks. Like, San Antonio fucking made out like bandits in this. And if you're a fan of a team in that situation, that's all you can ask for, is to do what you can to make sure your franchise guy has a stable foundation. The moment the lottery card was revealed that the Spurs were going to get the top pick in the 2023 draft, you just knew that it wasn't just because the Spurs were getting a generational talent. It was that he was going to the Spurs, a team that is very, very smart about how it builds its teams and builds around its best player. And with this trade, they just are furthering that, and they got a really nice foundation, man.